Hi, this is John Martinez. We train sales teams across the country to really sell more with less effort and to do it quicker, shorter sales cycles. You know, one of the reasons many of the companies approach us is because there's a really common problem they're dealing with out there, and that problem is bloated pipelines. And the reason why a bloated pipeline is a problem, when I know on the surface it sounds like, hey, there's tons of customers in or potential customers in our pipeline, that's a good thing. It's actually not a good thing, and I'll tell you why. It's usually because half of those prospects in your pipeline are potential deals, potential customers, and the other half aren't. And when they're sitting in the pipeline, most sales managers, business owners, and even salespeople don't know which half is which are potential customers and which need to be disqualified. And once that pipeline gets so big, it's just really hard to manage. You can try to just reach out to each one individually, but usually that doesn't get anywhere. You just start with these really small, ineffective touches. Usually it's an email or phone call that says, hey, just trying to update my books, or just touching base. And nobody likes to send those emails. Nobody likes to get those emails or calls, and they really don't lead anywhere. They just move on another week, and that deal stays in your pipeline, and you've learned nothing. So in order to be effective, what you really need to do is figure out which ones of these deals actually have potential, which ones do we need to go after, and how do we go after them, and which ones do we need to disqualify because they're not going to turn into deals. And once we disqualify them, now we'll actually have the time and resources to go after the ones that have the potential to turn into something. So I know all of this is really confusing, and it puts you in a tight spot, whether you are a sales leader, business owner, or salesperson, because the last thing in the world you want to do is start disqualifying deals left and right, thinking this one might have potential and I might have worked really, really hard to get it, and now I'm just flushing it down the toilet when if I did the right thing, I might turn it into a deal. And when you don't know what to do or how to approach those, you don't do anything to them, and it's frustrating, and you end up feeling stuck. So let me tell you exactly what to do with a bloated pipeline. What you actually need is a message, a very specific message that can be delivered anyway. Text, email, phone call, video message, it doesn't matter. And that message needs to be designed to push potential sales forward to a next step or disqualify the ones that don't have any potential at all. So this reminds me of a software client we just did some work with who had this same problem. What we did is we looked through the pipeline and we realized, hey, we need that message. We need to figure out which ones of these have potential to become deals and how do we get them there, and which one of these prospects or potential clients need to just be disqualified because no matter what we do, what we say, how hard we push, they're never going to turn into anything. So the right message actually has two parts. The first thing you want to do with this message is assume the no. Assume the deal is not going forward. And the reason you do this is because it relieves all sales pressure, right? Think about it. If you have a salesperson calling you saying, how about now? How about now? What's the next step? You just kind of put them off because there's a lot of pressure there. So that was the first part of the message. Now the second part of the message has to be us backing out slowly. Now when we back away from the deal, what it's going to do is, now that we've opened up communication, if there's any potential left in the deal, the prospect will not let us close the thing down and escape. They won't let us back out. They'll go, whoa, hold on a second. Now if the deal is dead, now they have permission to let it go and say, you know what, yes, we went with another vendor, we decided to go a different way, this project is on hold, but now we know we can put it in a follow-up or disqualify it or do whatever we do with those types of deals, but we know, right? So the next part, pulling away. So here's what that second part sounded like for this software company. We simply stated, hey, listen, we got a lot of proposals out there. Obviously, we can't let proposals, especially with discounts or incentives like the ones we gave you, just stay out there indefinitely. We feel it's probably time, and we could be wrong, but it's probably time that we go ahead and rescind the proposal, shut it down. But I did want to take a second to say thank you for everything up to this point. It's truly been a pleasure getting to know you, and that's how we took the deal away. Now, what happened? Well, I'll give you two clients. One client, one that we actually thought was going to turn into a deal, responded with, hey, we went with your competitor, been a pleasure. If anything changes, we'll reach out to you. We took a deal that we thought had potential. We now knew it was disqualified. We put it in that pile. Then there was another deal, the exact opposite actually. We didn't think it had much potential. And once we tried to shut it down, they said, whoa, just a second. We've got legal reviewing the contracts. We've got this little hiccup. How do we get back on track? And now the conversation was going again. Now we were moving forward. So here's the takeaway. If you've got a bloated pipeline, if you've just got deals that are stalled out, use that two-step process. Communicate it however you need to. Do it in a very nice and nurturing way, right? You don't want it to sound like sour grapes, but you start with, I'm assuming this thing's dead, based on the lack of contact or whatever has or hasn't happened. And we're gonna go ahead and rescind our offer, take this deal off the table, shut down conversation, whatever it is in your world, however you shut down those deals, and let them know, hey, I appreciate everything up to this point. Been a pleasure to talk to and work with. If anything changes, let us know. That's it. Assume the no, take the deal away, let the prospects who should be disqualified disqualify themselves, and let the others move the deal forward. You know, I love making these videos for everybody, so if you found value in this, or if you have any colleagues or know any other business owners or sales leaders that have the same issue with bloated pipelines, please go ahead and share this video with them.